Hello. Hello. Sorry, it took me a little while longer than normal to get going. I was a little unprepared, as you can imagine, as is always the case with me. I'm going to turn that on in the background because I don't have it on apparently. I am an old man. Thank you for joining me on my non-special occasion. I'm definitely feeling and getting older in time. I'll come get it. Thank you. I guess I should put something in the title about my birthday, shouldn't I? I'm gonna make some adjustments though. I realise I haven't turned on this little thing behind me. There we go. Get the mic out of the way so you can see it as well, eh? Let's move the microphone. Happy non-special occasion, thank you. How's it going? Been a while? I've actually, if you can believe it, this is the fourth week in a row where I've managed to stream. I don't want to pretend like I'm consistent now, but compared to how I normally am, this is consistency. Realise my camera's slightly on the wall. I'm going to try and fix that a little bit. Problem is with my camera being on a pole, so you can never quite get it 100% straight. Kind of tell it's a little bit wonky, but I think that'll do. It only took me 9 years, Jesus, hopefully not 9. Was it 9 I started streaming? When did I start streaming? Unfortunately, it probably actually is 9 years, or something ridiculous. I've only got married and had a kid since then, so nothing major. Realise I haven't even moved a broom. That's how disorganised I am. Why isn't Twitch loading? There you go, it's loading. Can you see? I believe the first stream of mine was Life is Strange 2016. That was one of my first ones. Don't think the very first, but if that's 2016, then that is worrying. Time is going past. Time is going past fast. Jesus, 2016. 9 years, nearly a decade ago. I think that actually is right, because I remember, I think I started watching Twitch in 2015, now you mention it. Or 2014, and always with the intention of going on. I think the first game I played was like Gears of War. I think it was the remake of Gears of War 1, which subsequently they remade. God. I'm getting old fast. I guess I should put something in the title about my birthday, shouldn't I? Brag about how old I'm getting. Birthday stream? Don't look at my grey hairs. Green. Yeah, a lot has changed since then. As you can see, married now. Got a kid. Got a house. Completed it, mate. Is that basically no? I can't go any better than this. I can, but. So today's stream is a bit of an improvised one because I'm waiting on a bunch of stuff to come to me. So, plan is to upgrade my office PC. I say upgrade, it's not really an upgrade, it's a side grade, essentially. guess kind of upgrading the graphics card. Hello Pips, how's it going, man? Or woman. Or day, sorry. Let's go. So yeah, the plan today is to partially upgrade my my office PC. I basically needed to go, I had M80X, I had to go to ATX because I needed more ports. And I basically have an ATX motherboard sitting around from an RMA from a customer, so thought I'd make use of it, get a nice new bigger case. Wanted to test out a different case as well because I'm getting kind of sick of using the CIT ones as much. So we've got a new case to test out today. 2 wives, 2 kids, 2 houses, maybe don't tell the missus though. 1 wife, 1 kid. For now. How is my code, everything all okay? I really had no time to actually check today. It's been one of those days. All good, don't worry, I will spam for YouTube chat though. That's all I need. Thank you. It's good to see that YouTube chat's working. Always takes a while to actually get YouTube up and running. Jesus, the door just slammed. Cool. So without further ado, I guess I will get started. I've still got leftover dust. I was basically refurbishing a customer's PC today. I've dust, basically did a deep clean and there's just dust kind of everywhere. It was, to be fair, the PC wasn't too bad and it wasn't that dusty. Just needed a bit of a refurb, new thermal paste, etc. Wanted to get ready in time for Battlefield 6. That was a nice job. So, motherboard today, the box is going to look like a complete disaster. So you have to bear with. Motherboard is, let's go top view, shall we? Motherboard today, scratches included. B580 Pro A motherboard. Bit of input delay there, don't know why. Just have to rock with it, I think, because my camera was being weird. I had to use like the external software to get it up and running. If I try and change it now, it's going to be even weirder, I can guarantee it. So hopefully quick enough. I mean, like in stages it's going okay. Motherboard of choice today is a B580 Pro A. It's actually the second time I've had this motherboard. The first one burnt back for an RMA because I used 9800X3D, and this suffered from that famous burn-in issue that these motherboards had. So, out of courtesy to a customer, I basically got a replacement in for him, and then sent this one back to ASRock, who've now resent. I guess it's a new motherboard, but in the same box. YouTube chat live because of me. I'm holding the YouTube flag on the Twitch. Show me what you got. That's what I'm talking about. Ryzen 4 7400F. Did I actually not put that? Or I did put that. I did put that. No, there is a 7400F. It's like the 7500F, but just slightly worse, and ever so slightly cheaper. I think, if memory serves me right, I paid maybe £90, but they tend to be more like 110, which in that case is better to get the 7500F. But this is like I would say the lowest end AM5 chip you can get. This is basically what I've been using for the last few months as my office PC. But yeah, I just needed to upgrade to, I keep saying upgrade, side grade I would say, to an ATX motherboard because I am much more in need of loads of USB ports, and this has got plenty, as you can see. Even USB, is it 3.1? 2 USB-C headers, those are going to come in handy. 6 USB 2s, 2 USB 3s, 2 USB 3.1s. Going to be very handy for what I need, actually. Basically, my cameras are currently running off USB-C. Thank you. Yes, unfortunately, I'm starting to get very old very quickly. Certainly feels like it anyway. So, in this motherboard today, left the box on the table. I need to double check where I put my screwdriver, because I want to undo this bracket before we continue. Thank you, Rick. Welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, I had a full nighter, so I'm going to be exhausted. What did you do? Don't stay up on my account. If you need to go, you need to go. But I appreciate you being here, of course. Thank you. Just double checking where I put the screwdriver. It's been a bit of a mad rush to try and get the stream sorted today. Hear me crashing about in the background. Don't worry about that. I'm going to hide this from the stream because this is a bit of a spoiler, as you can maybe see it as I'm walking off. That's going to get used shortly. What up? So I'm going to be getting a PC soon for my birthday, but I don't know what to look for. Any suggestions? Ooh, it depends what price you are looking to pay for a PC. I can kind of give you some suggestions, maybe. What I'm planning to do over the next couple of months is show you. I've done one last week, which is the lower entry point, which is for £480-ish to buy outright, or £440 to make. And then I'll be doing a kind of mid-range one. I think it's going to cost about £800 if I'm not mistaken. And then the one after that will be probably about £1,500. Used parts, I want to spend under $1,500. I will have to have a think about it. I was thinking something like Dreamseeker might even be able to give me a hand right off the top of my head. I was thinking maybe 9600X, RX 9060 XT, that kind of thing. Or maybe something like a 7600X, depending on the price, or even 7400F, 7500F like I'm using today, with a 9060 XT. Used parts or new parts are being used, newly used, a mixture. Refurbished motherboard, used CPU, brand new GPU, brand new case, brand new cooler, used power supply, so real mixed. And the only thing I don't actually have today is the SSD, which is on its way and hasn't come up in time. So I'm going to get this all ready to stick the SSD in once it's done. Would it be wrong to buy a used PC? No, absolutely not. If you can get a good deal all over it, you're always going to get better value on the used market. Just know exactly what you're looking for. I would encourage you to look at used stuff like used graphics cards, etc. What games? Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, Red Dead, and MTG. So yeah, if you was to buy a fresh 9060 XT, I think is the way to go. And then maybe 7500F if you can get hold of one, or 7600, 9600, something like that. Should be doing a PC similar to that scale. Well, I'm doing one kind of similar to that scale today, but long term I'll do something more in line with that. Didn't actually find the screwdriver. I should grab that. I can see it now. So let's remove. Actually, I don't know if we need this bracket today, you know. So in which case, I'm not going to take off the bracket. Instead, well, I won't take it off just yet. Instead, we'll go for the CPU. So, CPU, I've had to basically do this in a rush today, as you can tell by the leftover thermal paste on the chip itself. Ryzen, hopefully the lighting's okay. Ryzen 7400F. Not a very common chip. It came out maybe half a year ago. People tend to buy the 7500F, and it's normally about the same price as a 7500F. So typically, I would say get a 7500F. But if it falls below £90, this might be the perfect entry level point for AM5. Probably the cheapest you can get right at the moment, whilst still offering really good performance. So 7400F in, I'm going to close the bracket. I'm going to give, maybe I'll give it a clean now. Just get rid of the leftover excess thermal paste you can probably see. I need to grab some isopropyl alcohol. It's not the most, anything I don't like about AM5, for example, is that although the chip looks cool, the edges are a real pain in the ass to get thermal paste out of once done. I want to be very careful not to bend any of those pins. I don't necessarily recommend doing it this way. In fact, I'm going to close the bracket now. So we'll close the bracket to get the AM5 chip in. 7400F is in. Now, I think it's going to be fine if there is excess thermal paste left over from before. It's just a bit gross. But that's the 7400F installed. The RAM today, so this is all basically what my office PC had, and now just switched over to this motherboard. So there's going to be pretty much no new boxes or anything like that to look at. So the RAM of choice is Crucial DDR5 6000 megahertz. Very nice kit. I think I paid, actually can't remember what I paid. I'd actually have to double check how much I paid, but nice set of RAM. Hits the speeds that you'd expect. CL36 as well, so decent stuff. Matches the motherboard aesthetic as well. Check the PC. I think it's good. I'll have a look. 7800X 3D, so are you saying 7800X 3D is used as well? How does 7800 XT compare to a 9060 XT, for example? Are you hoping to get the 7800X 3D brand new then? Because I don't know how readily available they are brand new nowadays. Just popping in the RAM. Thank you for the follow, Ricky. Sorry, Rick, not Ricky. Shouldn't assume your name is Ricky. It depends on if you can get hold of the 7800X 3D. There's a lot of CPU for the GPU. I would actually tend to say you're better to go for a 9600X and then maybe more GPU. So if I edit this box list, for example, just on a whim, I'm going to say grab how much is a 9070 XT on the US market? Probably too much. But it's not that much more. I would tend to go like this. I'm going to send this back. I'm going to send in both YouTube and YouTube chat so you can all see it. So those would be my changes. The case is fine. You can tend to buy similar sort of spec cases a bit less, I think, but to be fair, actually that's one of the more budget orientated Lianli, so it's not too bad. They're more right, cool and make sense. B650s might be a bit more difficult to get hold of. Oh, I realised the pricing for the RAM etc isn't coming through either. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe the 9060 XT would be the way to go. I can't remember how it compares to the 7800 XT, unless you can get it used. So the PC you're talking about, no. Yeah, i3-9100F is not a good gaming chip. The 10100 is a good chip, but that one will struggle. And yeah, the 1650 is not worth much nowadays. I think the max I would be paying is $200 for that, truthfully. Might be worth going on, if you want, Ricky, I haven't got the link to hand, I still need to sort out the commands, but I think in my About Me section there's a Discord link. If not, if someone could kindly pass the Discord link over, we can maybe go through some options after stream and have a look what we can get you. At least give you some ideas. Sorry, so that's the RAM installed, that's the CPU installed. Now, this is an SSD screw. I will need this at some point, but not today. So, interestingly, I kind of bought this on a whim. This will be the first personal. No, actually, I'm going to lie. It's going to be the second personal AIO I've ever bought. Gone for the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. I've used these for customers plenty of times and they have been excellent. Realised the box is damaged, which is typical Amazon. I'm hoping it's not been used. Hopefully they haven't stitched me up, because I will be very frustrated. So, very much overkill for this CPU. I bought it because I plan to change the CPU at some point to something a bit more powerful. But I also wanted a whisper quiet PC when I'm doing videos, etc. Thank you for showing the Discord. So, we're going to move the motherboard to one side. Did I see that LG OLED giveaway? I did not. I'd love an OLED monitor. I've got an OLED TV downstairs and it's awesome. £2,000 monitor, damn. So, as mentioned, cooler of choice today, very over the top for the chip I'm using, but CPU cooler has a graphics card. Did I say that? Maybe I did say that, sorry if I did. Very over the top for for this build. Has MX6 thermal paste included on it. Imagine getting that and sibling destroys it. I worry about my son destroying it in a few years when he's able to walk. That sibling is getting a horror made. Looks like a GPU. Just because it's a big box, you mean? I guess kind of. I see what you mean. Thank you for the input. You're welcome. I'll try and help you out at some point. It's going to be a busy couple of days for me, but as soon as I get a chance, I'll try and help you out. Are you happy to build it yourself, or are you looking to get something pre-built? I'm gonna have to try and remember how to build this. Last time, they don't actually give you instruction manual, if I remember rightly, and you have to look on the Arctic website. So it's probably good for a lot of the extent. I don't have to waste card just to look at some instructions, but slightly more of a pain in the ass, cumbersome. At least I've got my iPad to the side if I need it. Looks like a GPU, feels like a GPU, smells like a GPU. Rebuilt. Yeah, in that case, have a look on the used market. It's always the thing with Facebook Marketplace, for example. Just make sure that you see it running in person. But if there's anything you can kind of spot out and you want to take some screenshots, send it our way and we can say yes or no. If you're in the UK, I'd hook you up, but unfortunately, it doesn't sound like you are. So CPU core of choice. Looks really weird like that. I probably should get rid of all this packaging. Good thing is I put bins by my side, so I no longer can just yeet it to the side and have to deal with it later. I can get it straight into the bin. Does it smell like a GPU? Do you want me to smell it? It smells like CPU cooler. Distillo, not gonna lie, that Dell pre-built on Secret Shopper winning was crazy. It was crazy. Still think it sucks, but it was definitely, it was like the best price to performance out of the lot, wasn't it? I think the nicest looking one was the HP, but looking doesn't mean anything. Texas, okay. I mean, you should have a vast amount of options at least in terms of available stuff. Nice contact frame, doesn't really benefit AM5. You can use contact frames, but nobody cares for AM5 too much. NZXT. Starforge, yeah, Starforge is cool. They're quite expensive though, aren't they? Oops, just smashing shit up behind me. I'm gonna have to try and look at the instructions, I think, because I can't remember off the top of my head how you install it. AMD, so I'll put these on with that screw, I guess. Maybe I do kind of remember. Hey, Calibis? Sorry, I have this. My monitor's too small. I have to squint. I can do with the TV up here. GPU with a weird pin connector. Intel i7 3.4 GHz, 16 gigs of RAM. Intel motherboard. That's an old PC. What's the price on that? You said your budget's $1,500 though. These seem very cheap. $300. So I'm gonna guess it's like an i7 3770 or 2600, something like that. In which case, yeah, I would say no. I'll get instructions up, shall I? Does it tell me? Yes, it does. Online manual. I think this is like the third time I've used this CPU cooler, but I just never can remember how to do it. It'll come back to me. I don't really know of any pre-built companies in the US I recommend, actually. It's a shame. I mean, I don't know. Jesus, it's hammering it down outside. Zack Tech Tips does pre-builts. I don't know how the prices are don't know what the can't even get my tongue out. What the prices are like? I think they're probably too expensive. Yeah. Just having a brain fart moment. That's for the Toasty Bros do pre-builts. I don't think they price nicely though, but they do pre-builts. I don't know if their pricing has changed, but they were kind of bad before. RX 6600, 5600. Yeah, that's not bad. I think. Always get confused on the exchange rate to US dollars. See if I can do this without looking at the instructions, like a typical guy. Like me building IKEA furniture, not actually looking. See if I can remember this. So I will actually take off this bracket. I don't need that. Just I know sometimes they use it to hook on, but I don't think it's necessary with this one. Roasted Bros. See, I don't mind the Toasty Bros, but yeah, I remember them using kind of iffy power supplies and not great pricing. But it might have changed. I'm worried that they're going to watch this and they're going to watch me. Let's just get rid of these, I think. I'm going to regret this decision and end up needing them. You can almost guarantee it. But having the bins to the side of it now and just being able to chuck stuff in is a game changer. For an ADHD veteran like me. I say veteran, I've only just found out I got it, but yeah, no. Ryzen 5 3600 motherboard, Asus 450, B580, 5700 XT. Liking the look of this so far. 2 8 gigs. Kraken. Interesting that they got an AIO. Do you push yourself in fear? How do you mean? What's the price on that one, Rick? Thinking he doesn't have to go custom build if he's too nervous to do it. I mean, I would always say to someone that wants to give it a try, give it a shot, but also people don't always have time to make their own or don't have the patience, etc. I think I remember how to do this. That side up, if I'm not mistaken. Smell pancakes. I think my wife's doing pancakes without me. Price on that one is $650. I don't think that's worth it. I'm trying to think in like UK money, I would pay $5700 XT is about £120 now, so maybe what, $160, $70? B450 used is £40, $50, something like that. Yeah. I want a custom one, but I don't know how to build and go, so I can go to, oh, yeah, Micro Center. That's what I would do. If you're really nervous about building it yourself, Micro Center is a great shout. I forgot you're in Texas. Yeah, of course you got Micro Center. At least that way you can go in person if you have any hiccups, etc. We can agree on a voice call and do a micro center. Oh, I'm so envious that you have a micro center. I'd love one. So if you can get a good build under $650, I can show them. Yeah, but Dream, that's on the account that he wants to actually build one. Of course, I would always say it's a good skill to have. When I get a moment, I'll have a sift through Facebook Marketplace in Texas and see what I can come up with. The thing is with Texas, it's huge though, isn't it? So you'd probably have to tell me at least near to your location. If you fancy it, I wouldn't tell someone to use Linux first time. Although with this PC, I'm going to run Linux. I'm trying to work out what operating system. Houston, okay. I will have a look for you, see what we can come up with. But you can watch build guides, you can watch mine, you can watch ZTT, you can watch, there's a load of people, Meta PCs I think is another one. Don't know what their prices are like, but you can have a look and see what they've got. Loads of places online. Heck yeah, I'm going to watch yours, thank you. Going to have some YouTube content up on it soon, I'm working on it. But if you go back and watch my VODs, they're on YouTube. My last stream, you can copy that. And I'm going to be working on more kind of in your price range. This isn't probably too far from your price range, to be fair, just to give you some ideas. RX 580 can emulate ray tracing in Linux. Not good, but with Crossfire, you can get a ton out. Crossfire? Wow. I guess Linux, I was going to say, I didn't think Crossfire was a thing anymore, but I guess with Linux, anything's a thing. Hey Dark Rex, how's it going? I'd love to do something like that. RX 580 and Crossfire in Linux. That sounds fun. I don't know what OS I'm going to put on this. I'm thinking something simple like Linux Mint. I don't think I have the balls to quite do Arch, by the way. So, without looking, I think I've done this right. The nice thing is, it's nice and simple to install. Where am I from? I'm from the UK, not a million miles away from London. Remember, peel off your stickers. Gonna grab thermal paste. Starforge based in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Not that it matters because they ship them anyway. Cheap GPUs have a massive uplift in lifespan with lossless scaling being as good as it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually didn't say the motherboard, you're right. It's a, excuse the state of the box, this is a refurb. It's an MSI. No, it's not an MSI, I'm lying to you. It's an ASRock B580 Pro A. This is one of the ones that had an arithmetic problem with the 9800X 3D, so I don't know if that problem is solved now. And I'm hoping it is, because eventually I'd like to upgrade the CPU. Maybe I won't get a 3D, I probably need a multi-core. But the state of this thermal paste, not even very dry. Oh, it's disappointing. I was going to use this. Guess I could use the MX4 that I've got. Yeah, it's very dry. Oh. I don't know if you can see that. It's like it's been open, but the packet was like completely sealed. Okay, well that's slightly disappointing. I was hoping to use some MX6 there. Maybe I'll speak to Arctic and get them to hook me up. Even though I don't really know. I went a couple of years ago to see Liverpool play. Nice. I'm unfortunately very jealous of how good Liverpool are. I'm a Tottenham fan. And they've been smashing it the last couple of years, to be honest. Or Spurs, should I say, not Tottenham necessarily. You might not understand what I mean. Tottenham Hotspur. Video idea. I'm shipping PCs to a random subscriber as a gift. I think that's been done before. I mean, at some point I will do giveaways, etc. on Twitch. Probably have to be UK giveaways, annoyingly, unless I can get hooked up with a US supplier that I'm familiar with. Just to know, I thought we could be friends, but it's not so bad. It could be worse, right? It could be like Man United or something. That would really be really bad. It is my birthday today. Been through enough. We won a Europa League. I have been through a lot. I have been through enough as a Tottenham fan. So let's get the core installed. I think I can take this off safely. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, that would be awful. I think that's a swear word in my house. Arsenal fan. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm 34 years young today, so starting to feel my age. My knees hurt, my back hurts. Hence why I have to sit down when I do PC builds now. So you can see, I love how simple this AIO is to install. Probably the easiest I've ever had to install. A couple of brackets. Screws matching up on either side. You want to basically torque them either side, so it creates a decent amount of pressure, but not too much pressure. Dude, I still can't get over this. The PC I built is the best I've ever owned, and now I want to build another. Oh, awesome! So you got that PC built? That's great. I'm glad you had a good experience. What was your specs again? I think you did tell me. Or was it another dude with a similar name? Yeah, there is a big thrill you get from whenever you do your first PC. I realised that screw wasn't even lined up properly. My cousin is an Arsenal fan. I mess with him all the time. Arsenal always start out on top and finish second. Yeah, thankfully. Fortunately, they have got a really good squad this year. I'm worried about how well they could do, but thankfully they have a good job of bottling it. Rick, Ryzen 5600, B450. I would say to go 32 gigs of RAM, if you can. But that's a really nice build. I'm actually going to undo this a bit. I finished it like a month ago. Never used anything faster and a more stable computer. That's right. That sounds familiar. 9950X 3D, that's mad. That's the CPU I'd like to get at some point, especially for video editing or stuff. So what was I doing an all-nighter? You guys PC experts or something. The term expert is always a bit extreme. There's always stuff I could learn. I would say I'm better than the average Joe, but I'm always learning every day, if that makes sense. I've been building PCs for over a decade now. Oh no, not one of those dodgy gigabyte power supplies. I remember Gamers Nexus doing a piece on that. You know what, I haven't even lined up these screws properly because I'm not paying attention, that's my bad. Would I upgrade a Ryzen 5 3600 to a 5600X? That's a nice upgrade. Or recommend saving more to go on the cheapest AM5 build? It depends on what your needs are. Are there games that you're playing that are struggling at the moment? What are you trying to achieve? You're trying to get more FPS? You're trying to save some money? The nice thing about AM4, there's just like a lot of viable upgrades. There we go. Pay attention when you're screwing in, I would say. Just to make sure your screw holes line up. Only his power supply, his front eye. Oh, he's lucky. because they're a literal fire hazard, right? It's the same cooler I have. It's a really nice cooler, isn't it? I think this is the best AIO I've ever used, like by far. I love Arctic stuff, to be honest. Arctic, if you're watching this, you're not watching this. Send me some stuff. I want to use their case. I acknowledge myself as an expert in nice GPU with cooler. I am still buying parts for my first PC ever, so don't understand a single word. You'll get used to it. The more you learn, the more you'll figure it out. Don't stress about not knowing everything right now. Comes with time. I got him a USB DAC for $60. Gave him a EVGA power supply I had on hand. Nice. Handy to have a brother in tech, isn't it? I mean, handy that you're the brother that can help him out with the tech stuff. I don't even need this because I actually managed to do it without even looking. So the cable I'm going to use, you basically have a choice. There's like a VRM style one where you can engage. I never understand where to put the VRM cable though. Maybe I will use this one so I can track everything individually. So CPU fan, AIO pump, because VRM goes in this one. Ordered them a new case, nice. I'm just after the best price to performance. My CPU is holding B at, and back in open world games like Hogwarts Legacy. 1440p or 1080p? I mean, the 5600X is definitely one of the best price to performance chips. It's just not a huge upgrade from Ryzen 3600, I would say. You could maybe do... It's tough because the thing is, the 5700X 3D I would recommend that all day, every day, but it's now become quite scarce, quite expensive. 1080p, okay. I'm having to think. Maybe like, if you're trying to save money, something like a 5700X might be a not bad upgrade. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. The thing is, when it comes to 1080p, what was your GPU, sorry? So yeah, I'm going to install the triple fan header rather than having them running individually. VRM 6700 XT 12 gigabyte. Okay. So yeah, more than capable 1080p card. How much is a 5700X 3D where you are? Saying that it's quite a lot of CPU for your GPU. Maybe the 5600X as a temporary CPU, because I mean you can get them for like what, £60 here, so maybe like $70 or something like that, something ridiculous for a little bump. Thing is, if you did 1440p, it might work out a little bit better. It's hard. It's a good question though. You had me thinking. I might actually have to come back to you on that. Yeah. Oh, you're in the UK. Okay. So yeah, you're. Yeah. What? It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna put my iPad to one side, and we'll say. See what FPS difference, or is it like 1080p for 5700X, excuse the noise. So yeah, instantly quite a significant jump depending on the game. And you're saying you want to play Hogwarts Legacy, so see if I can find one with Hogwarts Legacy for a... No, none of them have Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe I can just search Hogwarts Legacy. Is it time to get a new GPU? It's giving 0 utilization and the fan's not working. Oh, that is a... Yeah, that doesn't sound good, Emma. Just make sure... Have you tried, as stupid as it sounds, I know it's the IT kind of typical response. Have you tried taking it out and put it back in? Do you know what might not be a terrible idea? If you wanted to stay on the platform, Thunder, 5800X is reasonable in price now. I think the 5700X will like give you a little bit more, but the 5800X is quite a significant jump. Sadly, I did no work. It sounds like you got, so the GPU's not getting power or something. Tested it with another power supply just to make sure. Sorry, getting distracted. I need to plug this into... That goes into the side here if I've got that the right way around. It might be the other way. Sadly, I did RTX 5070. It might be time to cut your losses, I'm afraid. It turns on when I turn the power save, it randomly stops when it boots up. Yeah, sounds like it's having some sort of power delivery issue. Probably worth looking at a new GPU, I'm afraid to say. Thing is, you should be able to get something. If you just wanted something that's a little bit of an upgrade, you get 58 RX 580, for example, very cheap now, and it'd probably give you a huge step up, assuming you run the 4GB model. You can get 8GB for the textures, it'd be much better. Actually, I'll probably cable tie all these cables before I tuck them away. Have you got any money to buy a new graphics card? Whereabouts are you based? So I think I've got like a GTX 970. And I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So, CPU cooler installed. You basically just need to then, you can see there the magnets just line up with these two screws. It's a really nice installation, hides all that guff underneath. Nice and simple. That is an AIO cooler installed. So yeah, as I mentioned, SSD I'm still waiting to come. I will try and update maybe in my Discord just to say what I've got. I want to get a 2TB one just so I have enough space for games, etc. And I'm going to try and get my server up as a NAS soon as well, so plenty of space. Got it, thank you. I was trying to get a RTX 4060 8GB and it's 280 around there, so I've just got to save up a bit. Is that $280? Rather, a 9070 XT is double the price of a 9060 XT, but only 66% faster. Yeah, the 9060 XT is insane. The 16GB model is crazy. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Get rid of the packaging now. Don't need any of this, I don't think. Put that to one side in case I think about it. Thing is, I don't mind frame generation. I don't like that companies use it as a crutch to unoptimize their games. This build is for me. This is basically my office PC stroke secondary gaming PC. I basically, my office PC was already built, but I've now decided that I wanted ATX motherboard because it's just got way more stuff to plug in. I need to get a capture card, so I needed more space to put it in, etc. So yeah, that's the main reason I got it. So I can put a capture card along the bottom, multiple SSDs if I need more space down the line, etc, etc. Hello mate, is it my birthday? Yes it is. Yeah, 4060 8GB is alright. I would say if you're happy to go used, something like 6700 XT would be perfect, like someone had it mentioned earlier in the stream. Is it my Brit Day? Brit Day birthday. It's both. Brit birthday. Happy birthday, mate. Thank you, Sir William. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream, or welcome to the new stream? I don't know how to say that. So, I'm going to actually, thank you. Yeah, it's not something that I'm bragging about because I feel old. And unfortunately, when it comes to my age, you don't really think about how old you are anymore. Try not to. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And then we're going to rock on with the case. I'm really excited for this case. It's one I've been keeping my eye on for a while. It's actually like a cheaper version of a case that I really liked, but much more affordable. But yeah, I'll be back in 2 moments. Okay, fam. I just always do this shit. Sorry. Just did a big reveal of the case, and no one heard me. Case of choice today is a Montech HS01. Sorry, let me catch up with chat. 9060 XT will, at 1440p max, will perform as a set from the 3600. Yeah, kind of. Well, no, the 9800 X3D will probably give you a bit more. depending on the game. No, I didn't go for dinner. Avish PC build next. Avish does loads of PC builds. Have I paid my phone bill in 200 years? Have I paid? I don't get it. This is an ATX case. This, you know, the case that reminded me of was the HAVN H20, I want to say. I don't think that's actually what it is. Avish is familiar with that case. And I really liked the idea of that case, but the price was just nuts. And the cable management was apparently arse. So it's very similar to the NZXT case. This one was only £60. Haven, that's right. Did you... Amish, are you back from your holiday? If so, I hope you had a great holiday. And if you're not back, I hope you're having a good holiday. Yeah, very similar to the HAVN HS420, was it? I'm really excited about that case, but I couldn't justify the pricing. And then Montec had this beast, and I got really excited. And I thought, this cost me £60. I'm speaking to you from my 5-star resort. Thank you. Thank you for the commitment. I hope you're having a wonderful time. No worries, Dream Seeker. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a good night's sleep. That sounds like you need to catch up on it. So without further ado, shall we install the motherboard? So the good thing is, let me just switch view. Get my mouse from me. I got $50 off a Liang Li case. Very nice. They're very expensive. Let's go top mount. I saw my face in the reflection then, how lovely. Just did some research. I think I'm going to go with the Ryzen 5 5600 XT. Oh yeah, I forgot that came out. It's one of those things with AM4 that the great thing is it still gives. It's still like CPUs coming out to this day. Do you know what? I didn't even think about the 5600 XT. That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to look at the 5600 XT for future builds. Just had as much buffet lunch as possible. Are you all inclusive? I'd love to go to Mexico one day. AM4 never dies. AM4 is probably maybe the GOAT platform. I also really like LGA 1150. 4790K is one of my favourites too. I have to figure out how to take off the top. I guess it's magnetic because there's no screws going on here. So I have to go, maybe I'll go in from the top first of all. Very smart looking case. I'm gonna go, really like that. Don't know if you can see, it's got like a leather strap for the top, that's right, and then I can take off the side panel that way. It's really nice. Montec do very, very premium feeling cases for the price. I'm going to show you see that leather flap, how cool is that? Don't know why that excites me that much, but you can see the underside of my beard there, aren't you lucky? So now, should just pop away like so. Awesome. Love the fact that you don't have to screw the motherboard. Look at all the space you've got as well. So I've actually planned to run fans along the bottom, in which case I might install them before doing the motherboard, and then there'll be 2 fans coming out the back. I think I'll leave this empty. Has potential for more fans down the line as well. I'm actually after a GPU for i7 4770K. I've got RX 5500 XTs and I've got a GTX 970, I think. They're any good to you? $5500 XT sounds like half decent for it. So you can usually go to like a 1070 or something like that, can't you? Don't think I've got any other spare GPU at the moment. So, excitingly, or unexcitingly, I've had these around for ages. Pack of Arctic fans, £25 or something ridiculous. Probably the best price to performance fans on the market. I think bar none as well. No RGB. I'm afraid for the RGB lovers. But I personally just wanted something very sleek. So I'm going to run, it fits per. Look at that. Looks like a glove. That fits so nice. Over the top fans at the bottom, but I'd love a 2060, yeah. Yeah, 2060 would be nice. They're fairly cheap now as well. What, like £90 or something on eBay? They dropped in price massively. We're just going to install fans, 3 fans along the bottom. It's going to be completely overkill for this kind of build, but it's going to look cool, I think. Actually, I should make sure, pull out the cable and run that through the bottom first. I love the design of this case, really. Montech, they just make really good price to performance cases. Like I put this on a par with like an NZXT, like, and much cheaper. I think £60. Did I mention? We're just double checking, catching up on birthday messages. I guess I'll take the dust filter off. So. We'll take the dust. Oh, I have to screw it in, and yes, I should anyway, because if we're pulling up air from the bottom, that's what she said, I think. Yeah, you could do 2060, or dare I say it, as horrible as it sounds, it's like an 3050. 50/50 maybe if you can get one cheap, but I don't think they're that cheap. Just thinking for the people, if you're trying to flip it, you know, the kiddies like the RTX, especially the 30 series. I haven't tried to sell 20 series for a long time, so although I really like the price to performance of like 2080s and 2070s nowadays, they've become really good. I'm normally good at visualizing what a PC will look like when it's done. Today I have no idea. Probably not far off how it's going to look, to be honest. What I really love, I got 3D printed, can't show you on camera conveniently, but 3D printed drawers where I actually have each PC screw in separate locations. Game changer for me, so I don't have just like random screws flying everywhere. Means I can easily access and grab them whilst installing the PC. What up, extra? Extra Jew? Jew? Extra do. Jew. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. How's it going? It's going to be a very sleek looking build today. No RGB. I should have got some cable extensions to make it super clean, but not necessary. I'm glad. Welcome to the stream. Not lining up the screw properly, which doesn't help. Maybe I need to unscrew a couple of these quickly before putting in the additional screw. What board? It's a ASRock B580 Pro A. My 4-year-old headphones retired yesterday because of audio distortion. That sucks. What headphones did you get? Very interested in how this will look. Yeah, me too. It's going to look very professional. Is that the word I'm looking for? very sleek, very minimal is the intention. Still deciding on what headphones I get. Yeah. I know, especially if you like good audio, it can be tricky. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and I've lost one of my, not a good audio device, but one of my AirPods recently. The ones I do like for studio monitoring are, can't show you because I haven't got it to hand, but the Audio Technica MX50s, I think. That's more for video editing stuff I tend to use them for. How many coolers do PC need, man? Too many, not enough. What graphics card will be in this? I will show you shortly. I'm using the MSI P650p Wi-Fi. Manual looks like both the M2 R2 CPU, not chipset, but I'm confused. Manual looks like both M2 R2 CPU, not chipset, but I'm confused. I don't know. Amish, you might have a bit of familiarity with that board. You're about to have your favourite dessert. Is that toast? Peanut butter and jam on toast, isn't it? You disgust me. I took my super mini ITX PC to work last week. I've seen so many techs excited to look at a gaming PC. I love mini ITX. I have the RX 560. Should I upgrade on now? I mean, if you've got the money to, probably. Depends on, I would say depends on games, but the RX 560 is a bit, unfortunately, lacking nowadays. A really good price to performance GPU for its time. Depends what you're trying to do with it, I guess. If it does everything you need to, don't bother, but maybe it's time. Usually top is CPU, but I think both are to CPU times 4. Okay. I would have to double check that. Sometimes with motherboards they do go to CPU. I think they did on this one if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Does everyone in the chat know it's a special day today, or is that a secret? Well, if you have a look at the title of the stream, it might give away my secret. I wasn't trying to be discreet, even though I don't want to reveal how old I'm getting. To be fair, the fans are overkill, but I just think it's going to look nice with all these coolers. All the fans installed is going to look very nice, I think. I was talking about my sex change. Happy sex change stream. So I had an amazing customer service experience with a PC company, but I don't want to share it and set unrealistic expectations. No, go for it. If someone's done well, you should brag about it. I'd like to know. Birthdays happens every day, but today is the day. Today is the day. But I was blown away with what they did for me. Well, that's awesome. That's what you need from PC seller. Someone that goes the quote-unquote extra mile. Do I need a mod on YouTube? Can jump on. I mean, if you're happy to. I don't want to deprive you from your holiday, etc. Need to get some YouTube homies. Predator would do it for me, but I don't know if he's going to stay here for too long. It was Corsair, but if I posted what they did, then everyone would be asking. Well, contacted the CEO and the customer support thanked me for contacting the CEO. Interesting. I was trying to think if I've had many experiences with Corsair. I don't tend to buy too much of their stuff. I'm trying to think of the last Corsair thing I bought. Sorry, I'm doing that thing where I get distracted. So we'll put that fan through here. I'm hoping. I wonder if I'm going to have to pigtail. Have to get a fan splitter, because I don't know how this is going to reach, if it can reach, because I realise these aren't on, these haven't got pigtails annoyingly. Think about that. Am I on social anywhere? I can send you a message with what they did to help you in the future if you deal with them. I mean, I'm on Discord, does that count? I need someone to post a link to Discord, sorry. I don't, maybe I have got Blue Sky, but I don't really do social media that much. I'm on Instagram actually saying that. If you want to jump on the Discord, if someone's happy to share the link, tell you what, let me see if I can grab it. Someone shipped the man birthday cake. I haven't had any birthday cake today actually. I think we're going to have birthday cake at the weekend. Well, hopefully I am. Corsair now, funny enough, they own, is it Elgato and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken? I guess I've had Corsair power supplies before, but I guess I haven't had any bad experiences with them necessarily. Screw is already crossed through then. Let's put that in my metal waste. Hamish, can I ask you for a favour? Do you mind just dropping the Discord link in? I need to fix the link in my description. It was something with a product that was 10 years old almost, so that's good customer service. You know, that reminds me of it. EVGA were kind of like that. Unfortunately, they don't produce much stuff anymore. Noctua Seasonic. Yeah, typically very good customer service. Fractal design, I've had amazing experiences with. Case-wise, they sent me free glass when I've broken a glass panel, or well, I say broken, scratched it. They sent me one without even questioning it. They're just like, "What serial number is it? We'll send you one out." I don't know what my disc is. They changed it for alcoholic vegan mousse. My profile was a flower. If I send you a link to my channel, if I can find it. If you're happy to jump in, I can. God, why doesn't the Discord app ever work properly? Do you know what? It was in the chat earlier. Maybe. Oh, thank you, Mish. We're calling Mish Amish. I guess Mish is your tech name or PC company name, right? Yeah, if you hop in there, and then you can should be able to DM me from that. Nice one. I guess not by trying to avoid them. I just don't typically use Corsair that much. Maybe I've had one Corsair case or something. I think it's just because typically I'm a budget gamer at heart, and they're more mid to higher end typically. Some of their products, power supplies have always been solid. The right ones, of course. Not every single power supply they do is solid. I have the Air B480 as a big case, and I have their power supply. And I suppose now you're probably more likely to go back to them for their customer service, right? Which is really good. I realise I've just got hundreds of messages about my birthday, so I'm just going to see. Reply to them shortly. Thank you everyone that joined the Discord. I'm going to sort out the Discord so it's more shit going on. I set it up a long time ago and I haven't really updated it in a while, so I'll make sure to do that. Make it a bit more exciting for people that are joining. Maybe we'll do some Discord exclusive stuff at some point as well. Annoyingly, I think don't have any flange splitters on me, so I might struggle to power these fans on tonight. We'll see what I can do. Could use a fan controller, I guess. Happy birthday, by the way. How old are you, bud? Too old. Thank you. 34. $34 years old. I'm feeling not like a spring chicken anymore. Should have bought birthday cake. I feel like birthday cake now. I'm hungry. $39 for me in November. Nice. Or not nice, depending on how you feel about birthdays. It's always interesting in it when you get the other side of 30. I feel wiser and like much more sensible than I was in my 20s, but my knees hurt now. I don't feel like I thought I would feel like at 30. I've heard that people really love their 40s though. So I'm less apprehensive about being in my 40s than I was once upon a time. When you hit 30s, it's like you hit the boost mode and you're just like, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, time evaporates, unfortunately. And like trying to learn to appreciate my life a bit more. There was like, this is very deep talk with Steo, but there was someone that said basically if you keep having new experiences, it makes life slow down. So, because the problem is when we get to our age, is we've done most of the stuff we do, we're experiencing it for the billionth time or whatever. Apparently if you have new experiences, it slows it down or something, but I don't know if that's complete pseudoscience or bullshit like that. But I'm curious to try it. So as a YouTube mod, by default, they filter the chat so I don't see all the messages, including spam. Yeah, that's stupid. Cool, so that's nice. I don't know if you can see that well. Maybe I can zoom in. Give me 1 second. I just have to bring up the software to zoom. Can you see? Hopefully the lighting's good enough. And I'm going to move that. I don't think the lighting's good enough. Or the camera quality is not going to be quite good enough, I don't think. You can kind of make it out. Can you see? So basically, when they're describing M80X or ATX, etc., they give you a symbol. So for ATX, they tell you to install standoffs in various locations. I don't know. It feels like there's some missing for ATX. But if there's not, that's cool, and that should be ready to rock and roll. Let's zoom back out, shall we? I just hit 30 this week, send help. Honestly, I'm enjoying my 30s more than my 20s, so hopefully that gives you confidence at least. Happy birthday for your 30th. I don't know if I reached out and said happy birthday, so I'm sorry if I didn't. I also have ADHD, so some people call that time blindness. You know what? Same. I literally got diagnosed last week, 1 week ago. So I do know that feeling. It is nice. Montech make really good stuff. I think they can. I don't know if they're doing it intentionally just to get people interested in their products. So then they eventually go premium. They're going to charge more, but every time I'm impressed. And I think the cable management is going to be excellent as well from memory. I'm going to try and poke the cables at the bottom. I don't think I'm going to be able to run these properly today. I'm going to need a fan splitter probably to do that. You know what I'll do? So I think, if I remember rightly, everything comes apart so we can install the fans here. I'm gonna need to unscrew the top here. Have I zoomed out enough? Yeah. Glad you managed to get a diagnosis. Thank you. Isn't the wait for 4 years or something? It wasn't 4 years, thankfully. The diagnosis took me 6.5 months, so not terrible, all things considered. The worst thing is, when you initially start to try and get diagnosed, they send you a form to fill in, which is just long, very, very long. And if you have ADHD, that form looks absolutely daunting, and then you put it off for another 6 months. So it could be a year, depending on how long it takes you to fill out a bloody form. Maybe it's autism, the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think that is true. I've heard autism takes ages. They had a look and checked if I have autism, and they determined that I didn't, which is good for me in a lot of ways because I don't have to wait. If someone figures out how to manufacture plug-in spots all over the case as an affordable cost, that would be cool. Like fan headers all over the case and plug into a hub or something. That would be cool. I don't know if that would work for like static, etc. But if they could figure it out, like an embedded fan hub or something, that would be cool. Let's undo the top screw so we can open up this bracket, shall we? Autism is in the same family as ADHD, honestly. Yeah, they're very, very interlinked. I have family that have autism, and like, yeah, there's just like it's like a Venn diagram of stuff that overlaps, right? I think I knew I didn't have autism, but it's interesting to rule it out at least. Let's grab my screw bowl so I don't lose all these screws. My son started talking extremely early, but when he turned 2 he stopped, and he hasn't spoken since that. It's hard work, I'm sorry. Hopefully you're getting all the support you need for that. Hopefully your son gets all the support he needs. Oh, just banging the table with a bracket. I'm really liking this case, you know, just so modular. It makes building so much easier. I tried to actually reach out to Montech to see if I can get some of their parts, and they directed me to Scan to buy from, unfortunately. So I couldn't get them up on my website. But maybe one day. It's life though. If everything was rainbows, it would suck. He goes to a really good school and told my ex-wife, I hope he learns to count cars like Rain Man and make us rich. That's a good thing. It is like, with autism, they can get very locked into subjects and get very good at it, so your son might become a genius. So here's hoping. And thankfully we're able to, like, as rough as it is, at least we're able to diagnose autism, you know. Because like years ago, people wouldn't get support and people wouldn't know what it is, basically. He can hack into phones like it's like he knows your PIN code. That's crazy. See? Level of knowledge they pick up. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, so fan will come out on the outside. We do exhaust, right? Yeah, because intake is coming from here. Here is intake, and are these set to? This is set to, so exhaust at the top. Yeah, all the way up, exhausting out of this side. Yeah, I think that works. I work with a fair few people in autism. They're bloody amazing on what they do. Yeah, absolutely. You tend to find in this kind of industry a lot of ADHDers and people with autism like me. Oh, ADHD people like me and people with autism as well. I guess it's kind of specialist subjects, right? Just trying to figure out. So when the bracket goes back on, where does the fan cable runs at the top? I'm just trying to figure this out. Making my brain hurt. Yeah, the ADHD stuff was like the least surprising results, to be honest. I've always thought just put it off for as long as I can remember. Temple Granding has autism. She's responsible for modernising how we harvest beef humanely and safely. The thing is, basically all top level CEOs are definitely on the spectrum. No, I guess not everyone, I can't say everyone, but I would say Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, loads of people in that kind of industry were definitely on the spectrum. Undiagnosed probably, but stuff that they kind of do or did goes hand in hand with autism. Yeah, and PC stuff does tend to go hand in hand with it. It's that kind of industry, right? So what games do I tend to play, my friend across the pond? So that's a good question. Huge Halo fan. Unfortunately, there's no good Halo games anymore. I realise that's where the fan goes. Right, fan's going to come out this side. Cool, okay, I figured it out. That's cool. And then run through this gap here. That's cool. Good design. The other day I completed The Witcher 3 all the way through finally. We finished Blood and Wine DLC. So I'm very late to the party, only like a decade old now. But I finally played through that. I tend to play more single player titles in my old age. Played a bit of Helldivers. Going to play the new ODST update at some point. Trying to think, what else do I play? Just co-op games I tend to like to play when I get the chance. Unfortunately, with you know what it's like when you have kids, you just have less and less time, especially with the business. What games do you play? They made a movie about her. It's literally called Temple Grandin. It's awesome. That's cool. I will check that out. I used to play COD, but the cheating is out of control. Yeah. Unfortunately, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop either. I played WoW and Diablo, but now I just play Path of Exile 2. I've heard good things about Path of Exile. BF6 is going to be huge, I reckon. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely massive. I mean, the beta was huge. I played the beta and I enjoyed it, but I rarely justify paying £60 for a game now. If and when it reduces, maybe I'll pick it up. But also just never really have time for multiplayer because I get my arse whipped too much. Kingdom Come Deliverance when none of my free friends are online. Is that the second one or the first one? I realise, so looking at get distracted, but looking for the holes for the fans, it's not a typical fan screw. I wonder if it's like an elongated one that I have to use. In which case I'm going to have to open up the back panel. Switch to front facing cam. So I'll have to gently tug on the back panel, I think. Yeah. I give my kidney to experience what I felt in the 90s, 2000s. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that era for gaming. I guess it's always like rose-tinted glasses, but the first Xbox, Halo, I mean, absolutely adored Combat Evolved, Knights of the Old Republic, Metal Gear Solid games. There's so many bangers from that era. Now, unfortunately, like most games are just remakes of old good games now, aren't they? The case, Montech HS01. Just gonna spin. I have to be able to take off this. Maybe you guys can see it. Maybe I can show you whilst I'm trying to unscrew it from a different angle. Kind of a bracket hiding all the cables here. That's really cool. Really liking this case. And there's a marker on the back that says the best value. Actually, not going to disagree with that. Well, so far, I'm very impressed with, for £60 or whatever it was. Very insane pricing. Oh, it's got RGB headers for, I guess there's LED, yeah, there's LED lights at the front, that's cool. Very subtle LED. Bruv, are we doing the wheelie reveal at 1969 subs? We are. You have to get me there though. I'm still like, what, 800 subs off? If you can get me to there, I will do a wheelie reveal. How's business going? Seeing any common price points people keep asking for? So, interesting, my business is accidentally kind of shifted. I'm getting a load of like maintenance work and stuff like that at the moment. People coming to me, they want upgrades and refurbs. I'm starting to offer, I need to basically update my, to the camera. Need to update my website to show off my services basically. Because I've realised a lot of people are asking me for stuff like upgrades, etc. And I now plan to do what's a MOT and service. So basically just like offering to completely gut the PC, clean it, rebuild, thermal paste, undervolt, overclock, whatever they need basically. I'm just going to have to work out how to put this bracket back on. But yeah, it's going well. It was quiet, but I was also busy with wedding stuff, etc. So now I've been able to kind of get back into the groove of things, and it's picking up. I've actually got a upgrade planned for Christmas for someone already, which is interesting. One of my adverts on Facebook did well. Not that you asked, but I definitely try to get socials to show exactly what you do. Yeah, no, it's a very valid point. I've got a whole strategy I will explain to you shortly. I've had one of my friends helping out with business strategy and got a couple of good ideas. Well, hopefully there'll be good ideas at least. Let's put all the screws and cable ties there. A lot of cable ties. Lots and lots of cable ties. Damn, I'm not sure I asked, how was my wedding? I can't remember either. You might well have done and I've forgotten. Really good, thank you. We had a lovely day. Actually going to a friend's wedding tomorrow. Yeah, we had, I would say it was an amazing experience. I mean, all weddings are good value. But I'm very happy how everything turned out. Everyone said they had a great time, and I'm sad that it's over to an extent, but it was very stressful trying to get it organised. So at the same time, I'm, you know, not sad that I don't have to plan a wedding anymore, but I'm glad that it went as well as it did. Sorry, so I've just taken out the screws, so now I need to figure out how to run so I wonder if I need to put the bracket back on, you know. Let's change camera view, shall we? Go back to top view. Top view with me on top. So, I actually think, although initially I took off this bracket, I think I'm going to need to put it back on to put the fan screws in, you know? Because it's actually given me long screws to install the fans. Thank you. Yeah, it was lovely. Really successful day. Amazing to have all my friends and family in one place. We did it on a budget as well, and I think I was very happy how everything came out, even though it was very stressful. Is that how I'm gonna have to figure out how this goes back on. That way up, maybe it's that way. No, I think it is this way. God. I guess, oh right, okay. I have to put the fans in like so. I get it. Took me a moment to figure that out. I don't think I'm going to hit my 10 o'clock usual deadline tonight, unfortunately. Which is a shame. It means I'm going to be probably tired tomorrow, because it's my turn to wake up when my son wakes up. So we want to do exhaust. So exhaust will be that way. So that's right, like that. I think. Like that, yes. I'm going to exhaust these. Bit of a weird way to set up fans, I would say. Not that intuitive. I guess I'll figure it out. To run these through the back here, won't I? Don't know if you can see that properly. Maybe I should move the case, sorry. So, the problem is I'm now just pushing the grommet. That just popped up there. AIO. Not AIO. IO. I haven't installed the AIO yet. So I could look at the instructions, but that's cheating, right? How does one? Do I have to put the fan screws in before putting this back together? Don't know, it's a bit strange. Seems a bit weird, if you ask me. Manuel. So you meet a few guys called Manuel, but that's probably a very stereotypical kind of. Is it racist joke about Spanish names? Manuel? I don't know. God, this is complicated. Like, I must be missing a trick here. If you have to read the mill, yeah, I think I would agree with that. Do I just put this on and just kind of figure it out on the fly? I've been impressed with the case up until now. This is kind of annoying. Don't like the setup of this. Unless there's a trick I'm missing. I'm inclined to agree with you right now that this is doing my head in. Doesn't seem to make sense. I just kind of force it closed and then work out the rest. Yeah, I don't like this. This is goofy. I can understand it, but it feels like a bit of a gimmick. I don't even know. It doesn't feel like it's lining up properly either, which is a nuisance. There we go. I don't really like this. I don't even know if that's going to screw in properly, you know? I can't even tell if that's going to hold the other side. It's not. Yeah, this is bollocks. Maybe I'm missing a trick, but yeah, that's... In fact, you've won this time, Montek. I'm going to check. fan screws. They are fan screws. Cool. It says install feet, but I'm sure the feet were already installed. So, trying to do the fans before everything else. So, rear fans. Well, it doesn't look like that. Is it? You know what's stupid? I don't know if you can see that. This is rear fans. Oh, you just pull off this handle, but there's no. They've done something wrong here. Can you see that? Look at the top. This is like a lip that you just tug on and it takes it off, apparently. That is bollocks. That's bollocks and that's not right. Probably why it's £60. And there's like used little screws, but then how does it attach to the case? That's unless I've done something wrong, in which case they haven't explained that well. I think they've done something wrong in the on the manual for this. Was enjoying this case up until on Tech. You've let yourselves down a little bit here. Probably why it's on sale, to be fair. It's like it's impossible. It fell off somewhere close. It fell off where somewhere close. Not sure I understand. It fell off somewhere close. Did something fall off? Did you say? Yeah, just dropping screws everywhere now. Maybe that's what you meant. I don't understand how you're meant to do this, because the instructions don't even explain how to do it properly. I think this is like instruction. No, it's for the HS01. Show us around the case, please. Okay. I remember this case is reversible. Maybe I'm missing a trick there. What's the best way of showing you? Do I show you from the top? Me change orientation. Shove everything somewhere. I should do that. Let me go to front only. Hopefully it's clear enough to see what's going on. Do I... Does it make sense to anyone else? I can't get my head around it. Going to put the fan cables back through as well because I don't want them sticking out. Yeah, terrible design going on at the moment. Everything else was so promising and I was so excited so far. Oh, it's just like hiccup. Looks like the screws from the front plate. You can do it both ways. You can do the front fans, but there's also an orientation where you can do the back fans as well. It actually gives you the options for both, but I've seen instances where you can just screw it into the back, unless there's like a bracket or something that I'm missing. Maybe there was a bracket in the box that I didn't pick up on or something along that line. I don't think so though. Gonna double check. Ignore that cover plate, you were trying to screw the fan in. That's how Haven works. Yeah, you can do different orientations, I think. Sorry, I'm just going to check the Montec box just in case I missed something. No, I didn't. Yeah, maybe I'll come back to that. But I wanted to get those installed so I don't have to fuck around with it later. Is that so? The Haven one does the same. Just really terrible design. I'm gonna have to rescrew the turntable as well. Gone wonky. I just can't get my head around it. Maybe it's better if I do it standing up. Maybe that's part of the problem. Let's just try. I'm being stubborn. I'm gonna try one more time. Maybe with the bracket like this. Maybe that will be better. Maybe because I was doing it from this side, it was a little bit more tricky. Might be a little bit better. See if that's worked, shall we? Okay. No. Thought I had something then. No. I can't even tell if that's going all the way through. That doesn't feel like it. I'm adamant you screw the fans into the case, then put the plate on. Maybe you're right. Do you know the reason why you could be right? And you probably are right thinking about it. Do you know the reason why I thought maybe you have to do it from the top? I think I'm going to do it your way. I think you're probably right. If you look, there are screw holes. I don't know if maybe that's to adjust it later on or something. I think you are onto something, Amish. I'm glad you're here. So I guess I do that and then I run the fans through the grommet at the top. Yeah, that would make much more sense. I don't know why they've got spaces for the holes then. That makes much more sense. That's me not using my brain there. Let's go to front so you can watch me mess up screws. It's on Montec for not having the right manual or the right instructions on the manual. Maybe it's holes for it. That would actually make much more sense. I think you're actually right. I'm glad someone's got intelligence here. I suppose brain doesn't work. Yeah, that would make much more sense now. Oops, I was behind on the stream, damn you internet. You haven't missed anything, you just missed me fucking around with screws like an idiot for a while. Is that Montec's fault or is that my fault for being an idiot? I am probably going to go with the latter. The instructions should tell you how to do it though, and it shouldn't say, oh yeah, it's just a lever and you pull it off. It's like, no, you're lying. The annoying thing is, I'm probably not going to be able to plug any of these fans in. I'm going to have to get... Oh no, no, I could use a fan controller. I have actually got a fan controller, maybe I'll do that. That's probably much tidier than using fan splitters anyways. Yeah, this makes much more sense. You're right, Amish. Spent ages tinkering around and pissing around. Have I got all the fan screws? Did I drop one of them? I can't remember. I'll double check that in a second. Probably a bit of both. When a company clones a case, they miss something critically important, yeah. Yeah, I think they missed out on this, didn't they? I realised I have done that as an intake. I need that to be endorsed, so back to me being an idiot. I think, yeah, that's right. So that'd be intaking from the outside, which, nah, I'm not going to do. Me being dumb. When am I going to be a guest on Speedrun? When am I going to be a guest on stream? You're more than welcome to come down at any time and show me how to actually build properly. That would be good though. We should do that sometime. Give me a run for my money. I say, give me a run for my money. You definitely outbuild me. Shit. Think. No, I can do that. That's fine. Think. I haven't given myself enough cable length. Run it. Maybe if I store the controller at the top, is there enough cable length? Not a lot of cable length to come all the way around and out. I don't know if I should change the orientation of the fan. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. It's taken me like fucking half an hour to turn these fans around the right way and actually get them installed in the right way. £200 budget flip PC challenge. You mean like we go out, we get the parts, and then we just build it on stream and see what happens? Kind of like Scrapyard Wars, but even more improvised. That way? Or upside down? Smooth brain edition. Oh, definitely. I'd win the smoothest brain, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Can I achieve my goal of getting to 10 PM and having a PC ready to go? That is the question of the day. The answer is probably not at this rate, because I'm messing things up. We haven't got loads to go. We've got a power supply to put in. I haven't had to install an SSD today because I'm still waiting on getting one. I need to get a 2 terabyte one from somewhere. I just need to decide which one would be good for my use case. What deal I can get on one as well? I don't think I'll bother with PCI 5. It's too expensive. 40 minutes to do everything except install fans, yeah. Time is ticking TikToks. I hope it don't make you nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm just shaking my pants. That might be dietary problems. Okay, hopefully, I should have actually checked. Thing is, I was on a good run of time until I fucked this up. That goes at the top, and then a fan cable can go through there. Okay, I've done that right, that's good. And then that'll go through the grommet. Is a 4080 better than a 9070 XT ignoring price? Yes. I think the 9070 XT is more comparable to a 4070 Ti, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it 4070? I forget off the top of my head. 4070 Ti, I think. 4080 is. Yeah, 4080 is better for sure. If price is no object. I don't have to finish at 10, but every week I'd like to try and finish by 10 because it gives me an hour before I go to sleep, rather than rushing to bed, like still adrenaline pumping from streaming. Weirdly enough, I do get adrenaline buzz from streaming, I don't know why. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. Oh no, I have all fan screws, okay, I didn't lose any, that's good. Just gonna double check I've got a fan hub spare, otherwise we might have to not even plug all the fans in, which would be a shame. Did I use the fan hub last time? Just double checking now. Hey, I've got one spare. We're in luck. Woohoo. You're just excited to talk to us. Exactly. You guys give me adrenaline from watching how shit I am at installing fans. Maybe it's the shame. I built my first Ryzen 9 5900X and a 9070 XT, but the cable management is horrible. I mean, if it works, no one has to see your cable management. You can always improve it at a later date. At some point, you're going to have to redo your thermal paste, etc. Maybe give it a try then. Takes time, etc. to get good at cable management. Takes a lot of patience. Sometimes it's not worth the effort. Because the only person that's going to care about it is like Instagram people, but pictures correctly for Instagram. If it works, it works. I wasn't good at cable. Yeah, I wouldn't sweat it. Unless anyone's actively looking at your PC and telling you it's ugly, don't worry about it. Just have another go next time. I don't think my cable management when I started was good. I think I was just like worried about it powering on and just making sure every connector fitted. I've only kind of become OCD with, especially with it being my job. Although I do get a bit OCD about cable management. 50% of the cable management is determined by case. I think that's accurate. I'd actually say more. I think 50% might be quite low. You can, but the thing is, I guess out of a bad case, you can make good cable management out of bad cable managed cases. Does that make sense? Like the PC I built last week, cable management, grommets, etc. weren't amazing, but it looked alright. Even better if you have typically Montec or NZXT cable management is really good. Fractal design's really good now. Even if you're good at a crap case, will make look crap too. Yeah, I think there's an element to that. I think it's more like that'll do kind of stuff. You can make it look neat enough that you're not completely disgusted when you open it, but God, this grommet. I appreciate the grommet here, but running cables through it without pushing it out completely is a bit shit. They should have glued that down, I think. Well, And I keep poking out the I/O plate, I/O shield. Not only not attached to the motherboard, which is more typical nowadays, especially for a half decent motherboard. I had a hard time trying to close the back panel. Yeah, that happens. To be fair, did decent cable management with my PC last week, and I had a hard time closing the back panel because there wasn't any room. A little squash, no harm done. Just gonna re-screw my. Oh god, I've knocked out that I/O again. That was a waste of time. Just gonna re-screw this because it's come apart. Great. On stream improvised screwing of my turntable. Problem is, I got this. When I had this, the screw was actually already broken, so I've had to rebuild this several times. I'm gonna have to speak to someone that knows a bit of woodworking that can help me fix this. Okay, I think that's fine. Maybe a bit too hard, but I don't care right now. That's what she said. Okay. Let's put the I/O plate in for the 100th time. And then we'll put the AIO in, shall we? Oh, sorry about that horrible noise. Let's go to top down. See we install the AIO. Yeah, practice makes perfect with cable management, and Amish is right. If your case is good at cable management, that makes such a massive difference. Don't like this I/O plate. Okay. Let's install the motherboard then. Oh, interesting. Is that? Huh. Guess I won't install that just yet. Is this plate needing to come out then? How interesting. Oh, that's sick. Turntable was built into a desk. I'd love to do that. That's such a good idea. If I had the capability of doing something like that, I'd love to. Maybe I can speak to a carpenter at some point. I have to have a lot of money. I'd love to see that if you're able to show me sometime. Oh, just dribbling everywhere. What is the name of my case? It's a Montech HS01. I'm a little bit confused at the moment. I'm just trying to work out. Guess maybe. Or do I just slot the motherboard in and leave the bracket in? I can see this. There's screw holes for ATX. I think maybe it does come out though. I guess maybe if you've got METX, it just hides the ugliness from the bottom. You can put any size motherboard in it pretty much. That's kind of cool. Back to being good idea. You won some points again, Montech. Made up for the instructions being wrong. So, yeah, okay, I think that's it. We'll try that again, shall we? So, motherboard installation. Shouldn't grab any problem with. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that off so I don't grab it unintentionally and drop it. I don't like grabbing that by my hands. I like to grab it by the AIO. Kind of do it like that. There we go. Spin it that way, I think. Look at that, beautiful. Very clean. In fact, I've actually got more Arctic fans. I could go completely fan, but I think I like the plainness of the front at the moment. If I change my mind. What games am I trying to game on? So I'll probably play Helldivers. It'd be mostly like co-op and maybe some multiplayer games on this. This is more like an office PC for me, so I'll be using it for like video editing, etc. Realize we haven't even got to the graphics card yet. I'm excited to show that once we get there. I've mixed up screws, but I think I know which screws I need. I think that's right, but I hope that's right. No. Or did I even take out the pack of screws? Don't mix screws, guys. Maybe I can do the mother. I'll install the motherboard first, so at least that'll eliminate some screws that I've got to pick through. Jesus. Oh no, I don't think the screws are actually part of here. They are here. The F means without integrated GPU. Yeah. Yeah, because now, weirdly enough, Ryzen's now all come with integrated graphics as standard, except the F series, I believe. It was really weirded me out when I had, I was building a build with a 9800 X3D and it had integrated graphics. I was like, what? Since when? Since when did Ryzen have integrated graphics? Apparently now that's the thing. Okay. The motherboard screws aren't actually what I was expecting. It's these button type. I'm used to the kind of, what's the right word, inset ones. Cool. That's fine, I can use these instead. I do, again, I'm going back to like the the sleekness of the case. I really like, especially with the Arctic fans, how minimal it is. It's going to come up really nice. Considering I was looking at the Haven cases, or the HAVN cases, and they just, I think they look really nice, but I think they're just too much for my taste. I wanted something similar to that. The only thing that I'm a little bit sad about is the fan orientation at the bottom doesn't have a slant, which I kind of like that in one of the HAVN cases. But that's nitpicking, and then for the sake of £200. Are the bottom fans reverse flow? No. Been taken from the bottom. I should get some reverse flow, that would be a good idea actually. But then I want intake at the bottom, right? Cold air coming up. Exhaust coming up, exhausting out, and that way, no? Because that's why I took off the dust filter at the bottom, so you can suck in air from, because there's going to be space between there. That makes sense? But the CPU cooler is a case fan. I'm confused. Did I say something wrong? I mean, they're very similar. Where is it stand up here? Why are you not connecting? There we go. Motherboard was like tilted a bit. That's very strange. Are they set as intake? Yeah. Oh no. No, you're right. I've done them as exhaust by accident. It should be. Yeah, you raised a good point. I wasn't paying attention again, so I'm gonna have to flip some fans. Woo. Oh, that's disappointing. I like the Arctic logo being that way, but yeah, good spot. I'm glad you're here, Amish. I wouldn't get very far without you, apparently. But yes, I'm going to have to flip some more fans. Maybe I should get some reverse fans now that you mention it. Yeah, I need to flip them, you're right. Realised something's gone wrong here as well. I'm not having a good time. The screws have gone in and now it's budged them. That's annoying. I don't think I'm going to make my 10 o'clock deadline, am I? Or 20 minutes. I think I'm shit out of luck. To unscrew these all again. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Right, it's in place now. God, that was so stupid. Intake from the bottom and exhaust from the top and back. It's gonna go, yeah, it's gonna go on a shelf, so yeah, it needs to be intake at bottom, blowing from the top. Just been dumb and done it the wrong way around. I think because my eyes lit up at the idea of the Arctic fan facing that way, because it looks cool, but it's not practical. I could have done that as intake, to be fair, but I think from the bottom makes more sense, doesn't it? I think ultimately wouldn't probably cause much of a problem. Either way, I think the temps are going to be absolutely fine. Sorry, but the CPU cooler is mind-blowing for me. I only know the simple one cooler that goes on top of the CPU. You can get really fancy CPU coolers. This is called, yeah, all-in-one liquid cooler. I don't tend to use these that much. I tend to prefer using tower coolers. But when I'm editing videos, I've had loads of problems where my fans on my PC have just been far too loud. Even when I noise gate it, it's still like clipping through, so I need to make sure the next PC I build is quiet. Like really, really quiet. So that's why I opted for this and a load of Arctic fans to make it cool and quiet. And then when I do upgrade it, I'll be able to upgrade substantially. Realise there's no screw hole there. Well, there's a screw hole here, but no standoff. I think I'll get away with it. Being lazy and not putting a screw in, I think it's going to be okay. I just don't want to undo the motherboard just to put a standoff in again. That's going to be annoying. Is the CPU cooler has AI cooling? I don't think it's got AI, to my knowledge. Well, I mean, I guess in a roundabout way, the motherboard kind of has AI because it can kind of automate that stuff, but not in the AI way you're thinking of, I think. Okay, let's do. Whilst I'm at the top here, I'll do this cooler, shall I? And then I will work my way down and do the bottom fans. Okay, let's move these towards the edge of the screw bowl, as to not mix these up. Interestingly, using... Right, I think, no, that's what I've got to use, this type of screw with a washer, or the AIO. So the fans would only spin if won't spin if needed. You can set there's like some automations that you can set up like that. You typically have to manually set that stuff up, but you can do like fan curves, which is essentially automatic once you set them up. Hi Ori, how's it going? Asrock usually has an extra standoff holes in the board. Don't worry, yeah, it's not going to cause any grinding issues or anything, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not that fussed about it, I think. I'm just being lazy. Can I give you a $500 CPU and GPU combo? $500 US dollars, I assume. I would go, if you're happy with you, 67. I think I was about to say 6700 XT and Ryzen 5600X, assuming you need to buy motherboard, etc., etc. Does that sound about right off the top of my head? Those two are awesome pairing. You might be able to get more than that for it if you go on the used market. Yeah, new or used will change that answer. We've got 15 minutes. You reckon we'll make it? I don't think we're going to make it, are we? I haven't even installed the power supply or run any cables yet. We'll aim for 10:30 as the second tier. I can't go to bed too late because I've got to get ready for a wedding tomorrow, and I've got to go out and get my hair cut. I've got to wake up early to look after my boy as well. That's the AIO nearly done. Did I install the SSD? No, I'm gonna get a new SSD. I just run out of time to buy one before today, to be honest. I'm gonna get a 2 terabyte SSD of sorts. I just need to double check what plus the performance one I'm gonna get. Gonna be a 2 terabyte one, probably gonna be PCI 4 because I think PCI 5 is just too expensive for the returns you get at the moment. Because I won't build my first PC and I have. Oh, you want to build your first PC and I have more. You have more than $500 to spend on GPU and CPU. You could probably do. You might even be able to do. If you're happy with the used market, 6800 XT you might be able to squeeze out. And a 5600X would be a nice pairing. Kuzi Ali 2 terabyte for 60 watt, that's cheap. Would that be good though? What's Kuzi? I've never heard of it. Kuzi. I'll have a look at my suppliers tomorrow, I think, and just see what's going about. AMD Ryzen 5 7600X, 7600 XT. That seems like not a great deal for $1,000. If that's US dollars, I don't think that's great, to be honest with you. That's pretty terrible. Where's that from? Or is that... Are you not talking US dollars? It's fine. Gen 4, 7 GB. Okay. I'll double check. I guess it's already gone. What's the reliability of those? I've been scarred by cheap AliExpress SSDs, unfortunately. There are good, like, Chinese name brands that I wouldn't shy from, but I'm now very skeptical. I had to replace like 2 or 3 of them over Christmas. It was a pain in the arse, and I vowed not to do that again. That's just me. Same with Wi-Fi chips as well. I feel like that's a meh deal. Yeah, I think you could do way better for $1,000 US. You could do like, can you do like do Ryzen 550? You could even do like a 5800X and like a decent GPU for that, I'm sure. I think at minimum you're going to want like a 7700 XT or something like that. Can you squeeze in a 9060 XT with like an Ryzen 5600X, for example? Cool. Now to flip the fans on the other side again. And then we can install the cables and the power supply and the GPU, huh? Is 16 gigabyte 16 gigs of RAM, is that? Don't think that's good. And when you go with DDR5, I almost always say you should go 32 gigabytes. Where is that from? I think you could do way better than that. Depending on where you are, of course. Maybe you're priced out of the market. Yeah. I'd actually probably consider going Game 4 and getting like a really good GPU. Unless you're desperate to go to a new platform. I just don't think you're getting your money's worth there. I'm afraid. Why does it feel like this fan isn't fitting in properly? What am I doing wrong? It's like you're causing problems for some reason. Redo that one. I spent hours finding these parts. I mean, I keep saying to people, you're welcome to join the Discord, and I'm happy to have a look at some point. Where are you based, is the question. Because of course, you might be determined by your hardware market. Yeah, what country are you in? Oh, Israel. Oh, okay. That does change things. I really don't know the Israel market that well, to be honest. You might be out of luck for that kind of pricing. Yeah, you might not, unfortunately, have a lot of choice, Ori. not familiar with Israel's market, so I would struggle to tell you. I assume you were talking about US dollars, but yeah. I've never seen a motherboard with that much spaced out PCI lanes. It is a bit strange, isn't it? What, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, is there 5 or something ridiculous? Yeah, 5. Very strange orientation. Oh, right now you're in US. Are you... So you're getting a PC and taking it back to Israel? I'm not sure I follow. You can get way better PCs in US. Even comparatively to the UK, you get way more for your money. Okay. Yeah, I think Amos is right. If you've got a Micro Center, you take advantage of that. Thank you for the subscription. Subscription? Thank you for subscribing. Not subscription. Thank you. On some of my shorts, it give you an idea of some good value pairings. I think I've put a few in there. Are you limited on Amazon only? Because that's when you're going to get screwed over by a lot of people. If you can go Micro Center, please do that. Amazon, you're typically going to get scanned. People put some horrendous builders on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's really bad for pre-builts. Fine for parts themselves mostly, but yeah, pre-builts you want to avoid. People just like pulling scams left, right and centre. Yeah, Micro Center. Honestly, if you can do Micro Center, do Micro Center. You can go there in person, but someone will probably help you get a build as well. Okay, nearly fix the fan orientation. Then we can finally move on to the power supply. I guess actually I can run some cables before then. Can we meet 10:30 deadline? Because I've missed the 10 o'clock deadline. We're on deadline 2. And then after that it'll be 11. At 11 I'll have to call it quits. Either way. Micro Center is filled with... Yeah, absolutely. If you're unsure of what you're building, but you can go to a Micro Center all day, every day. Or follow load of decent YouTubers. They'll give you build guides if you want to pick out all the parts yourself. If I was in the US, I would hook you up, but unfortunately I can't. Right, let's flip this fan finally. There we go. can you build you a 1000 PC? I would love to say yes, but I can't ship to the US, unfortunately. I would charge you less than $300 to build a PC. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you. It's probably worth looking at a pre-built company. I don't know the best ones in the US. I think weirdly enough, Dell did alright for LTT's secret shopper, but I don't tend to recommend places like Dell. But there'll be loads of pre-built companies that you won't get ripped off of in the US. I can't say any off the top of my head that I know personally though. Cool, fans finally turned around the right way now. Intake coming in at the bottom, that's good. Let's put this back on. I realise how ugly that looks without it. Perfect. Cool. Looking very clean so far. Let's run some cables early doors so I don't have to do these again anyways. One fan coming through here. Could do. Which AIO, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Splitting into 3 fan signals, so got CPU fan 1, CPU fan 2, which I put VRM in, and then AIO pump is on the 3rd one. That's exactly what I've done. We go to front facing camera. So run these cables in before we install power supply. Power supply chamber is really interesting. And in fact, I'll show you that in a second. Just really curious. So we'll run USB 3 header through here. USB-C. Did I say USB? Yeah, no, I didn't say USB-C header. I'm putting USB-C header in now. USB-C header installed. Yeah, Amish is the go-to guy for PC build expert. He's my PC build expert, at least. He's got more accreditation than I have, and he helps me when I make mistakes with the fans. I personally check the performance of, let's say, a GPU, then Google the price, then Google equal GPU and compare prices, and differences are small, yeah. Yeah, typically when you're comparing GPUs, I like to just go for various benchmarks on YouTube and check a few tech YouTubers and see what they say about certain GPUs initially, until I understand them myself. Then I typically tend to keep that information stored. There's a little gap. I wouldn't normally run these through here, but I think that's going to be a lot neater if I do. So power LED in. Yeah, AMD typically are, especially in modern day, AMD CPUs are the way to go. I think Intel has just fallen off completely. There's some scenarios maybe you would choose Intel, but I think it's not very typical now. I think the Ultra series are meant to be, they've improved their pricing because no one was buying it. And you can get some decent offers to my knowledge, but I don't know if it's enough to consider going with Intel. I'm curious to see what their next couple of generations do. The latest Intel stock is bloody awful, yeah. It depends, or it depends on what you want. If you're looking for the best price to performance FPS for your GPU, so you don't care about streaming, you don't care about doing creative work typically, then the way to go is AMD. You're going to get the best price to performance. But Nvidia is all your bells and whistles, all your special software, streaming, better for streaming, better for content creation stuff, typically, I would say. Okay. Just realised my fans are getting crossed up over here. I just want to make sure I can run them neatly. There's not a lot of space up here though. I wonder if I can do something different there. Is that everything plugged in? Oh no, headed audio needs to go in as well. If I can run that underneath. No, I shouldn't do that. I should run through the door at the bottom. Nvidia just sent me a new 7090 Ti. Nice. But I've got the Ryzen 4070 Ti, so keep up. Yeah. Yeah, Amos has got it right. Just stabbed myself with an RGB fan header. I don't know if I'm going to have enough cable length for the fans. You know, I might have to get a some kind of extension cable. Let's tuck that in there, at least that'll be hidden away. What is the most expensive gaming PC you could build? I mean, you could stick in about 10, if you're just talking about like, because you could get stupid and put like 10 GPUs in a build, for example, but typically the consumer level most expensive PC you can build would be 9950X3D, RTX 5090, yeah, that would be your most typical expensive pairing, I think. Yeah, you can get some absurd stuff going on with water cooling. In like workstation PCs, you can stack up RTX 5090s if you really wanted to. They can just get absurd. For a typical gaming PC, for someone that wants to play higher end games but also isn't using a workstation, then a 5090 in there. I think typically the pairing is 9800X3D and 5090. That's the best stereotypical gaming performance you can get. So I can show you the PSU basement. It's interestingly on the water is from Fiji, yeah, expensive water. Bro, I could buy a Ferrari in that price. Yeah, they do get absurd. So to show you, this is the power supply basement. So you actually install the power supply at the top, and then run. So this was like the thing that I didn't reveal earlier. You basically run. Just unscrewing this. Maybe I'll show you from the top. That'd be easier. So the power supply, I think, goes up here, if I'm not mistaken, and then you run an extension cable to do your plug at this side. How strange is that? People with more money than sense, Ori. People that shop at Harrods. And I think they literally have one of those in Harrods as well, funny enough. Trying to undo this twist tie is proving more difficult than I actually thought it would. I'm twisting the wrong way. I think. Yeah, got it. Okay, that's just started not moving out. So interestingly, power supply is going to go through the top, and this plugs into here, I think. It says PSU cover, so what do I do? I'm going to show you the power supply. It's actually a used power supply. Let me move my case. No worries, Amish. Have a wonderful rest of your holiday. Enjoy your jacuzzi. Hopefully packing isn't too stressful for you. Sorry, I'm just going to show you the power supply. This is a used platinum, I think it's platinum, AX 860. It's actually a bit dusty, I need to give it a bit of a spray, clean out. I've used this on my test bench, but I wanted to repurpose it for my office PC so I can upgrade to GPU if I need to down the line. Another GPU, should I say. I still haven't shown the GPU yet. I'll tell you what, should I show you the GPU? I haven't even revealed it yet, so GPU I'm using today is the Intel Arc B580 from friends of the channel, friends of mine, my homies, my well, I'm the official UK selling partner of Maxon. Can you build this in live for $1,000? Possibly. I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe a bit over $1,000, but not far off. I'm trying to think. No, maybe you could do $1,000 Intel setup. You know what? I just wanted to try Intel Arc B580. I've had my eye on this GPU for a long time. Really like the design of this, and I wanted to try it and do some content on it. So my GPU for today. Really sleek looking GPU. What I should have done is got some cable extensions to match. Weirdly enough, AMD CPU with an Intel GPU. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But this is the GPU of choice. Very sleek looking GPU, I think. Really like the red accent and the silver accent. It'll go with the build, and maybe I'll get some cable extensions at some point and make it look really good. That's the GPU of choice today. Now I need to figure out how to put this power supply in. So, power supply color. I'm actually going to have to look to the instructions, which is not necessarily a good thing. Should be able to do this intuitively, but power supply installed earlier. Multiple blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Right, I need to remove the power supply bracket. Right, okay. So I take out the bracket, and then I install it, the power supply on the bracket, and then I install the power supply. Got you. Okay. So 4 screws goes from the top. Yeah, it's like the thing that Amish said. It's like, if it's not intuitive, it's kind of lazy design. But then again, I'm not used to using this type of case typically. Buy fake frames. Fake frames come with every GPU now. You can just imagine frames nowadays. Okay. So like that, is it? Just double check the instructions, shouldn't I? So, okay, so like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't recommend having any cables installed before doing this, but I've been lazy again. That can surprise you. Make sure I got this right. I think I might call it quits in 15 minutes anyway. That's a bit of a tease, I know, not completing the build completely. Maybe I'll come back at the weekend and finish it off or something. I was running short of time. Sure, that's right. That doesn't tell any. This is K3, okay. K3 is these. Yeah, I would say, Ori, look on YouTube, try and search the best PC you can get for $1,000. People would typically recommend Zach's Tech Tips, ZTT. Toasty Bros is an option. LTT sometimes does builds, not that often. Those are the kind of PC pop specialists that I recommend from the US off the top of my head. Yeah, do comparisons, exactly. Just do a lot of research. If you can learn to build it yourself, definitely do that. But then if you're looking to buy a pre-built, what are the famous ones? There's like Main Gear, Orion PC is another one. There's a shit ton in America. Phoenix PCs, I think Phoenix is alright. If I'm not mistaken. Starforge, shit ton. You just have to do your own research, I would say. And you'll figure out the best one for your price range. Ooh. Is a big spending purchase, so you'd always do a massive amount of research before deciding. Yeah, exactly. Just spend a lot of time kind of researching and figuring out what's best for you. Okay, is it this way or this way? Hopefully you can see that okay. Just need to make sure it's lining up. I don't know if it's lining up properly. Is it that way around and I'm doing something wrong though? Oh. Am I being a silly goober? The answer is probably. But awkwardly like dangle it in there. Stereotypically, you wouldn't have a power supply with a load of cables already jammed in there. No, that's not going to work, is it? I am being a silly goober. Back to the instructions. I think Serge is actually onto something there. Mish didn't say AMD isn't good. That's not right. Mish said AMD is good. Sorry, go back to the drawing board with the instructions. Just trying to remember the orientation when I took it apart. I think my ADHD is kicking and I'm forgetting. Okay, I've got it. That way. That way up. Sliding in from the bottom. There we go. I think. I want AIO. You can get Thermaltake AIOs within your budget. I don't think it's necessary, I would say. AIOs are just going to ramp up your costs unnecessarily, I would say. But it is your build. $50, it's not going to be a good one. You're going to probably have a really bad time with that AIO from the sounds of things for $50. $50 for an NZXT? Is it going to be their singular fan ones though? And NZXT aren't really that great with AIOs anymore. They look cool, but I think the performance is disappointing. Thermalright do some good cheap AIOs. Still don't know, especially if it's your first build, if I would recommend an AIO. I would just get a decent tower cooler. That's personal. I don't tend to buy. I know, hypocrite, put an AIO in this, but I don't tend to buy them that usual. Just for this specific build, I did buy them. Sergio's right though. I would say get an air cooler. I think it's absolutely spot on. Don't recommend mixing up your screws, so you have to look through the pot to try and find which one is the right one. I can remember what they look like. What is the time? might. The thing is, I'm not going to need to use this PC in the time being. God, this screw isn't going in correctly. You ever have this problem where a screw's not landing properly? Undo it completely so it goes straight and then redo. He says whilst it's not going to do it. Okay, that's fine. I don't. It's not worse than CPU cooler. A tower cooler isn't worse than AIO. You don't gain a lot from AIOs. It's just like sometimes they're a bit cooler. The reason that I have an AIO, for example, is just because I wanted to make sure my build is quiet when I'm working. It's a very silly thing to do. Yeah, Ryzen 5 9600 is really, really good value CPU at the moment. It's like pretty much the same price as the 7600X as well. Let's run that for the GPU. Is it 1 8-pin I need? Yeah. Maybe we can get everything installed but the fan controller before we go. Where should I run the GPU GPU cable? Here, I guess. So I run it over here. Will need to change. It does eventually, yeah. Not straight away, but it will over time. Two USB-C fan headers. No, it's just the same ones just come out because they're flimsy as hell and they didn't design these well. Terrible, terrible design. Doesn't even feel like it. There we go. That's better. I do actually need the SATA cable. This one I don't need. You can come out. Linux can come out. Don't need that. CPU. I don't need 2 GPU connectors, so I'll take one out. What is the best air cooler? This one. The Arctic Freezer? Yeah, Arctic Freezer 3 is the best, like full stop. I think. Oh, the best air cooler, sorry. Noctua air coolers. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, N15? Something or the other. Those are the best, but you don't necessarily need the best again. It's more an enthusiast kind of thing. Thermalright ones are the spot on ones for price and performance, I would say. And they copied a lot of their stuff from Noctua anyway. God, that is tight. You said? Get a front cam so you can see me plugging in some cables, isn't that exciting? Not a lot of give on this cable here. Should have gone with extensions. I'll run out of time. It's just... I need some cables like to run it through. There we go. That was horrible, but I got it in. That's what she said. Bro is expensive. I mean, you had $1,000 though. You don't have to buy it. One 8-pin PCIe connector coming through. He says. Okay, I have to do loop to loop. Go underneath and then back up again. Ow. Stabbed myself. I think I'm running short of time. I was going to say at 11 o'clock, but I think it's going to be pushing it. Ow! Just stabbed myself again with a connector. Yeah, 9060 XT is like the best GPU price to performance on the market, so bar none at the moment. I need to get a hold of one of those. Well, I say best price to performance. I think the B580 is actually one of the best price to performance, weirdly enough, but got weird Intel quirks, like not working perfectly with all CPUs, for example. Yeah, 3080 on the used market is a great shout. Or 6700 XT, 6800 XT, anything like that. 7800 XT, 7700 XT. Loads of good options on the used market. Love the used market for that kind of thing. I usually say to people when they're building their first PC, if you have to get everything new, at least get the GPU second hand. Because you get your values in your GPU at that second hand market. There we go, run the cable finally. Let's run CPU cable. I have two PCIe cables, I only need one. Oh god, stuck. Take that out. Bit of a cable mess going on behind there. I'm going to fix that up at a later date, I think. Interesting cable management stuff going on here. They're very well hidden, to be fair. The problem is this connector in is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Best air coolers are Noctua. You don't want the best, you want the best price to performance, so you need to look at Thermalright Assassins or something like that. You don't need the best cooler. Trying to get this last CPU cable in. What time are we at? Just crossed that 10 threshold, so I think I am going to call it quits there because I'm going to run out of time. I need to kind of get into bed and stuff. So, knowing me, I didn't complete the PC in time, but we're very close. I think I will, if time allows me, on Sunday evening, I will finish this off. Yeah, I think I'll have to do that because just sort of time this evening. Spent too long pissing around with these fans because I got the orientation wrong to begin with. But it's looking really nice, I think. Very close to being a very stylish looking PC. Just so myself. I also got that SSD to come as well. So I guess once that's here, I can get that finished as well, and then we can get this PC up and running. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for everyone else that's also been here today. I'm going to aim to come back on Sunday to get this done. Just run short of time today. Typically, I would stay on longer, but I've got a lot of shit to do tomorrow. So, if there's anyone online to raid, let's see if we can do that. I don't know if there's anyone that I recognise. If not, I won't bother. Don't know if anyone's on Twitch following actually at the moment anyway, so no. Let's call it quits. Thank you everyone for being here. I'll see you guys maybe on Sunday. If you drop in the Discord, if you want to keep up to date with that, or subscribe, whatever you want to do, and I'll be back and we'll get this done. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys very soon. I know, I ran out of time, I'm sorry. I am going to finish it. I'm going to be back on Sunday. I'm going to get it done. I haven't given myself enough time, basically. I should have started earlier. I'll be back. I'll see you on Sunday.